Good morning. I have noticed something. The sun has moved. Watch. Too much sun. Bright light. I'm like, wait, when did this happen? So I guess I need a curtain. I need a curtain for this is the door. It's rude. Very rude. I'm happy to see it. Don't get me wrong. I'm glad it's bringing some more. We're going to have 70s this week. I'm so excited. You have no idea how much I'm, as soon as plants hit some kind of landscaping place or Menards, or I am there. I am there. I can't wait to plant flowers. A realtor in Oklahoma, we have a house in Oklahoma for sale, and he sent me pictures of hyacinths about 2 weeks ago coming up in the front. And when we first moved into the house, I was like, oh, I'm going to make this into a beautiful fluffy home, and has a built-in pool, blah, 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 blah. And so I went and bought all the clearance hyacinths, all of them. And I planted them in the front. And so the front yard in Oklahoma looked like an explosion of hyacinth this spring. So he sent me a picture and I was like, oh, it's spring there. So now we're coming into sandspur season. Good morning from San Francisco. Oh my goodness, you should be sleeping. You should be sleeping. Good morning, Lisa. You have a really cool energy. I like your energy a lot. Is this your first time on here? Interesting. So this morning, I'm happy to be welcoming spring, and I can't wait to plant flowers. I can't wait to be out in the barn. I was out in the barn yesterday. Who's doing spring stuff? Carrie! Hi, how are you this morning? Who's out doing spring stuff? Like, I went out and I looked at my horses. How you doing? This is not Yellowstone, y'all. Okay, we ain't out there riding horses every day. We are hooked on Yellowstone, sad to say. We are hooked. Renee Shellum, good morning. Oh, you're selling spring flowers at the San Francisco Flower Mart. How cool is that? Carrie planted a bunch of flowers for the fairies yesterday. We are going to have a fairy garden. So my father collected change. His whole life he collected change. And he told me after I passed away, don't kick any boxes. Just don't kick boxes because they're probably full of change. He was not lying. So after he passed, he says, do whatever you want with the change money. Oh, okay. So after he passed, I went and I cashed in all of his quarters and all of his change, right? All of his change. It took me an hour and 45 minutes at the Coinstar to do this. Serious business. And I'm taking that money and I'm making a garden. I'm making a Bill garden. I think I'm going to put a gazebo or something out there. I'm not quite sure. It was a lot of money, Carrie. It was almost $1,000. It's not a lot to build a garden. It isn't. I know how much it costs to build a garden. But yes, good morning, Lisa. And so I'm going to put a garden with a small gazebo out there and a swing. And I really have always wanted to do that like octagon fire pit place. We have like 5 different swings. That's a lot of coins. It took forever. I kept clogging the machine. And I think I'm going to make something like that. Wouldn't that be a neat place? I think Bill would like that. So we're going to make a garden around that, I believe. And I've seen people use change on countertops and other objects and then cover it with resin. It was really nice. Yeah, isn't that pretty? The pennies. Yeah, there was so many coins. That's that morning sun, man. That morning sun. Yeah, Bill's sanctuary. Absolutely. And I have his kitty. I have one of his cats that he absolutely he loved, and I'll put him out there too. There we go. Okay, so how is everybody this morning? Monday's class, which was Oracle card reviews, which was so much fun, is now in the membership. So if you're in the membership, That recording is up. And good morning, Erin. Good morning. And I've decided that next month's practice class, we're going to do auric viewing. We haven't done that in a really long time, and I think that'd be a fun practice class to do. And then the month after that, we'll do a review. So I think every other month we'll do, or maybe every 3 months, we'll do a review. Hi, Oana. Good morning. So that class, the Oracle card review class, is in the membership now. So you can go view that if you are a member. So I went and had my massage done. I didn't get a fluffy massage. I got the break it down massage. It was fun. I survived. I still have to go to therapy and be like, don't touch me. Okay, let's pull a card and see what we're talking about today. Not this deck. Really, I like this deck. Okay, fine. I've been talking to my guides a whole lot more. So I have this exercise where I have to lay on the floor on this block and try to anyways. And every day I increase it by a minute. So I have been taking this time, and you love a good massage. It hurts so good. I do the deep pressure, Lisa. I'm like, only scream if it sounds like WWE in here, trying to break up some muscle memory. And she did this thing called descaling. And let me tell you what, you guys, she's like, it hurts. I had a 6-foot guy want to punch me in the face. And I'm like, why would I do this? Because it helped a lot. Normally, my shoulders, I have one shoulder that's 15 millimeters higher than the other. I'm wonky like that. And normally my shoulders crawl up throughout the course of the day like this, like really quickly, really quickly. And I'll sit there like this. And now that feels unnatural. So this descaling thing retrains the muscles instantly to not do that. It drops the calcium off of the muscles or whatever it is and helps break up. I'm thinking it's more like a myofascial type of thing, but it instantly made my shoulders drop. I was like, what? Why do I not know about this? Why is this new? But it isn't new. And it hurt, but not as bad as she said. So I recommend it because we look down so much that it retrains our neck muscles to not sit naturally. It was really cool. It hurt a lot. That's our word for the day. I don't like that one. And I don't like I'm pulling cards. Your neck and shoulders are your issues too. I get that deep massage. Ask him about descaling, Lisa. Good morning, Courtney. What is this? What is this? What is this? So anybody on here who on here doesn't know the story about the light language that we did in the class last weekend? We went to a class on trance channeling last weekend. And I didn't go in the back room and do the talking thing because, I do the trance mediumship and I talk anyways. So I thought I want to try the light language because light language has always spooked me a little bit, just because as I step into it, I really get into it and I'm like right there. And it has always freaked me out a little bit because I didn't think I was ready for that. And guys, guess what? It's okay to not be ready for something. You don't have to take on everything in your spiritual journey all at once. I always used to think I did, but you don't. You don't have to do that, right? So I decided to do drawing and trance channeling and writing, right? Which was really, really cool. But the last one freaked me out. I ain't gonna lie. When I first started it, it freaked me out because we all go, that's not good. You shouldn't have that down there. Or you don't want to communicate with that kind of energy. Well, I had a collective come forward that was, different. Right? Let me see if this is the right one. This one mine? No, that's Sam's. Sam did this too. And I was surprised Sam wanted to go to this class. I really, really was. My light language is dragon and sounds like I'm possessed. Hey, whatever works, right? I went to an authentic Chinese back doctor. I was put in position. I never could be right. Absolutely. So here was my here was my light language. But what I found was really interesting. Okay, the first part I found was at what point do the light language words start happening? Is it a language that other people can understand too, or is it unique to each person? Now I've heard, Michael, that some light languages are very similar, but they're going to be very unique, right? Because they're going to be the best way they can get them to you, from what I understand. And even the person doing light language doesn't always know what it means. It's light. So knowing how to put those into words is a different thing, right? So you do have people that just write the light language and don't understand it. They just go, it's energetic, it's out there for you. So this reading today makes me look at this, and it helps me look at something a little bit different too. So when I first started this, the eye was the very first thing I drew. Freaked me out, and I said, I don't know about that. I don't know if I want to be in that energy, right? Because the first thing we come to is draconian, right? We come to that draconian energy, that reptilian energy, if you will. So, but here's the thing. As I was doing this, I knew what I was saying, and then I was able to write it down later. So this is actually talking about a breaking up of three factions within a race of reptilians or draconians, whatever you want to call them, and genetic altering and how they walk amongst us now. And most of them are fairly decent, and they're just like every other race. And that's the only reason I'm telling you about this again, because I'm not trying to bore you, is I have that in front of me again in my cards. This light is annoying. I'm happy about the sun, but come on now. So here we go. I'm putting this in the same context as speaking in tongues, very much, yes. In some of the religious circles, yes. Sometimes it's also known, sometimes it's a known language that people speak, and other times there's an interpreter for the message. Absolutely. Owana says it's your own light language. There's no words, but you feel it, your body understands it. Right. So there's just a lot of different views on light language, and it has always freaked me out, quite frankly. And it's still doing a great job of that. So when I started drawing like the reptilian eye, I was like, my first inclination was to not. My first inclination was to draw a human eye and be like, oh, that's the eye I meant to do. But it wasn't. So I continued with what I was doing. So okay, I'll pull another one. The cards I have in front of me are right back there. So let's do that. This first card that I pulled was, and I don't know why we're going back to this again. And I only can assume that it's because I'm working with my guides more. When I'm doing this exercise, I'm meditating. I'm communing with Athena and Artemis, and I'm working intergalactically. That is my goal when I'm laying there meditating. I work with Athena for a little bit, and then I work out with Artemis, who prefers to be called Diana. She keeps telling me that, and I know why now. But so working with that energy is going to take somebody a little bit more interstellar, right? Who on here works interstellar? It was not my goal. I got to tell you that. It was not my goal. The first time I was taking interstellar, I was like, what the hell? But that was just a spontaneous thing. So now I'm working on it on purpose. And now I have this energy that wants to do light language. And as I'm talking about this, I could actually sit here and start writing out light language. I can feel downloads. I can feel it, which is a little offsetting. Good morning, Tanya. But so here it is in my cards that I just laid down. And the first card I have is Alpha Draconian, and talking about how we label everything interstellar, intergalactic, planetary, okay. This is the first card I have, is talking about the vision that we have, the vision that's put in front of us that we assume is going to be, and I have no idea where this is going right now, so just bear with me. The image that we assume is going to be the outcome, right? When you see something like this, we have an assumption that this is going to be that, right? And it says corrupt, unethical cults. You're thinking of control and shifting people's gears and being in control of everything around us. When in truth, we are in control of ourselves. This is our own matrix, if you will. This is our own vision, our own life, our own incarnation. And this is not, this has been laid in front of us. It's not exactly the truth, because we live within our own power, within our, Colleen, good morning. We live within our own power. We live within our own light vehicle. This is really what the Merkaba is. You guys know that? The Merkaba is a light vehicle for each being. It's not just like Blue Avian or those that travel on thought. Good morning, April. How are you this morning? We each have our own light vehicle. We all have our own Merkaba. We have that feminine and that masculine energy. We have those those not powers, but those energies of the universe within us that helps us travel through thought. And this is how we do meditation. If you ever do, and if you're in the membership, you can look. There is a Merkaba light vehicle meditation, and I'm not sure it's actually called that, but it's in the membership that teaches you how to do this. And my Polish brain has a hard time. I do it, okay, but I'm very thought in it, and you have to spin one triangle one way and the other triangle the other way and actually get it going. And it's amazing how you can travel in meditation within your Merkaba. But this one right here, following this Alpha Draconian, is very much about, hey, this is what you think, but step outside and think a little bit broader. Move your thought patterns a little bit wider, because this is what you were trained to think, and this is what you really should be doing, is reaching. And yeah, it's a really powerful, it is really a powerful thought. The energy through the thought, the masculine and feminine energies are not, it's right there, right? So and then there was this card. This is what they're telling me, right? They're saying, hey, look at your light language a little bit more. And I'm like, maybe I don't want to. Maybe I'm scared. You know, it's okay to be scared while you're doing this. Not scared, be cautious. You can be reluctant. Your guides have you. I'm actually working on this right now. Your guides have you. Don't be so scared. Be cautious. Don't always just jump into everything, right? It's like light language for me. I didn't just jump into it because I stuck a toe in it and I went, okay, I feel like I'm getting like, whew, like that, you know? And all of a sudden, and I didn't care for it, so I had to step back from it. But then the third card is here again. It's a new version of that Draconian. It's a new version. It is a same but different kind of thing, right? This one is predator and survival. So what they're telling me with this particular reptilian type of species that's coming across in a couple different ways here, is look at, there's variety. There's not everything is one. Not everything that you've been told is just one. And especially here in the light language, it talks about these three. See these three exclamation points? I have them labeled as three energies breaking away from one. So it's talking about origin and travel and love. And then it talks about the Draconians right here. And I'm only assuming that this is the Draconian. I feel like it's a constellation. I really feel like it's constellation, because I did these dots several places and then I connected them on this one and I was like, so that's got to be that. It says see division, see the break and division of three energies. And they started talking out about what they were doing. And then they talked about, is this a rune? Is this a rune? Why does this feel like a rune to me? Is that a rune? Is it like Farouk or something like that? And then they talk about the genetic alteration of some of their species, the three that broke apart, and then evolution. And then this particular symbol right here is love. Love as one. They're talking about love as one. I don't have it there. And this is just love. That's so cool is that? So this one's just love. And then this one over here is love as one. They're talking about loving everybody as one. And then they talk about broken perspective and expand, explore, and reach. And then, which is that Merkaba And then they want to visually share and write, which would probably be the light language. I didn't understand that the other day. I'm supposed to be doing more light language. Eee. Okay, so I'm going to put this over here because that's important. So we have all of these things going on, right? In this reading, they talk about the scary perception, and then they talk about the breakaway and your own personal perception, right? And then this is another section of, hey, I am not everything you thought I was. I am a break off of what that other thing was to begin with. Good morning, Vicki McHale. And it helps if I put these back in. Okay, looks a little. It's just a weird runes through our cross bindings, and then one of the oldest alphabets. So you can see this is a lot of alphabets. I have no idea. To me it's Greek. No. So let's see. And then they talk. That's a really. Shit. And then they talk about strength, courage, and bravery. Lyrians, I love working with Lyrians. Has anybody ever worked with Lyrians? They're amazing. They are all of those things. They bring together a feeling of resolve, and I really get that. And look, I just cracked the deck open again, and I have this again. They're like, it takes a lot of strength, courage, and resolve to break away from the perception of what we're told, and this is it. We can't laugh, right? That's what they say. It takes a lot of depth, perception, and strength to break away from what we're told. And I don't do the conspiracy theory thing, you guys. It's not that I don't believe in them sometimes. It's just that I can't bring it into my energetic field. It makes me very depressed. I don't get involved in it. But that's what this is talking about. One Lyrian. Right? Good morning. What the hell? All right. And so interesting. Very, very interesting way to start the day. What are we looking at in our life? So let's take this to our personal life. What are we looking at in our life that we've been told that could be different? Good morning, Amy. What are we looking at in our life that we've been told is a truth, but could be different? Oh my God, there's so many things, right? There's so many things. How many people, and this is, oh my gosh, this is a question I wouldn't, how many people think we're living in a matrix? I mean, this is something that we've been told that is out there, but we've been told this is life, right? This is life. Maybe we're living in the locker and Men in Black. Who knows? Look, I lost people on that. They're like, what the hell? This went sideways. Good morning, Isis. Don't believe it, but I'm not going to focus on it. Yeah, I can't. Don't disbelieve it. I can't focus on it, right, Vicki? That's just it. That's it. And there's some people I can't talk to in the family. Not that I can't talk to them, but they get upset with me because I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. It's not that I don't believe it, that it's possible, but I can't bring it into my energy, and I can't live like that. I cannot live like that. Wrapped up in things like that. Yes, I'm pretty open to the matrix. Wait a minute. Is Keanu in here? Keanu? No? As a preteen, I wrote a whole poem on this and didn't even know what it meant at the age. Wouldn't you love to have that back, Renee? Unless you kept it. Lisa says, I've thought it before. So it's just one of those things. Like, this has been presented to us. Is this been presented to us, or is it part of an illusion? I don't know, and I'm not out here promoting. You kept it, Renee. Check you out. I want to read it. I'm not promoting the Matrix, but what I'm saying is, what is it in our life that we've been presented with and we take as truth because that's what we were told? And if you think about this, come with me for a second. If you think about this, we've been doing this our whole life. Our whole life. How many people on here, just by a me, had something that goes through your head still that your parents told you as a child? Still goes through your head, that your parents told you and you took as truth your whole life. It doesn't have to be everything, but it is one thing, right? There's one thing in there. How many times a second? Exactly, Vicky. Exactly. And I haven't forgotten about you, Vicky. We're getting ready for the chocolate walk and we're doing construction in the shop. I do want to play that. Yeah, some of it is wrapped in religion as well. We're not going to go there, but yeah. Oh, many God, so many things. Where do you start off, right? So we are trained from a very young age to take things as the gospel, and I'm not talking about church, and just say, okay, I was told that, it's got to be the truth. Somebody older told me, somebody more knowledgeable told me, and I'm going to follow that. Yeah, Aaron says me, parents and other family members triggered me for a long time. Absolutely. So that's a small scale. Can you imagine the global scale? How many people have friends in other countries? Test those waters, right? Yeah. Test those waters and see what we believe, if that's what they believe. Good morning, Amanda. Merry meet. Thank you. I get on in the mornings generally. If I can get on. We just have someone new coming into the shop to work. So this is the reason I've done that, is so that I can be on here more in the evening. And I have more of a life, because I don't have much of a life right now. All over the world, gamer here. Yeah. So is our perception as in the US the same? Bye, Renee. You must go muggle. A muggling we shall go. Is it the same as other countries? I can tell you, I know from the people I've talked to, it's not. What we're told is something different than what other countries may have on their news stations. So, what's reality? Hi, Lily. So it's interesting to speak to somebody from another country, and they view Americans as one thing. We view ourselves as another thing, but we view their country as another thing, right? We might view them like we've been told. Is it real or is it Memorex? So there's perceptions. They're talking about perceptions, and they're talking about. Good morning, Barbara. How are you this morning? So let's dig into this a little bit more while I have a couple more minutes. Interesting. So we're just going to do a little bit of channeling here, and I'm really just working with this one collective that I was doing light language with, and I have to try and tune in on this and see, because they're talking about human race and three different legs of the human race too. They're not three different legs of the human race, but they're talking. Good morning, Diana. They're talking about the broad. We view humanity as one entity, don't we? We view humanity as one entity, and they're like, no, there's many different, and they're calling them strains of humanity, like different genetic codes of humanity. So, and we know this to be true, don't we? We do know this to be true. So I'm trying to think of what is that that island, Sardonia, is it something like that, over in England or over by France, I think, that it's totally, or Italy, totally, they have totally different DNA. Like their DNA is way off the charts different than normal people. And what's normal, right? But so they're talking about different genetic codes within the human race, and how that easily could be looked at from other perspective. Oh, that's so broad. My brain can't handle that this morning. They're talking about the neighborhood. And I'm not talking about like your neighbor. I'm talking about the universal neighborhood, like our universe, and how the perception is of humanity, and how they look at us as not just one race, but as many little factions on the planet of different genetic. This is weird. different genetic islands, if you will. Like these people over here originally started this way, and these people over here originally started this way with genetic coding, and then you start to shift them and move them around the planets a little bit, things change, and that's kind of how you create a melting pot and everything seems seamless. So they're talking about the genetic, how humanity has these different codings that are very much fight or flight. The fighters, the I hate to put it this way. You have the fighters, you have the prey, you have the collectors. I don't know why they want to call it that way, but that's what they're talking about. Like these people over here are the ones that accumulate. So they're the individuals that were kind of like set up as more of the, I hate to put it that way. What the heck? Seriously. More of the people that were in charge. And then these people over here were the ones that were more of the warriors, and these were people over here were more of the ones that did the work. Weird. But it makes, if you were to seed a planet, you need an order of operations, don't you? To keep everything seamless. If you were to have a planet of workers. This is weird. Not how I planned on doing this morning. I wasn't saying that, Tanya. Yes, I mean slaves. Workers. But it makes sense, doesn't it? If you were to populate a planet for generators, manufacturers, and projectors, if you were to populate a planet for a purpose, are you going to make it so that everybody's just living in nirvana? Or if you've done that, are you going to do such a huge undertaking for a purpose and have, I mean, I don't know, weird, right? Maybe I'll start taking a little time. I'll start to try to take a little time in the morning and do more light language. I know that when I meditate, I don't know if this makes me a bad intuitive. Yes, Vicky slaves. I don't meditate as regularly as I could out of self-defense, because when I used to meditate all the time, I had so much information come over. I was overwhelmed. So I drew back on my meditation a little bit, and it is kind of like a pedal for me. If I meditate more, I get more, and then a wide variety of information comes across. So maybe since I'm meditating more when I'm laying on the floor, stretching my neck, a wide variety of stuff comes across. And get back to work. I like that, Tanya. It was Tanya. Anyhow, this didn't go the way I planned this morning. Anybody else? It was very much a, hey, do some more light language. I wasn't sure I was ready for it. Still not sure I'm ready for it. I'm not. But we call that 2x4 therapy, don't we? Hi, Mandy. We call that 2x4. What type of massage is called descaling? So descaling, I think they called it something else, decalcifying or something like that. So this was legit painful. She warned me it was going to be really bad. Like she had me get dressed before I did this because she's like, I don't want to get punched and have the police come. I don't know. But there's 3 pressure points in the neck. So what she does is she gets her finger behind this little muscle. Ow. And then she grinds in it, decalcify. She grinds into it for 10 seconds. And then I have to turn my head while she's grinding into that muscle to the direction she's doing it. And then when she has me let go, she twangs it. Oh. And I can hold it up again. And she does it 3 times. And you do feel a little throat punchy. Okay, I'm not going to tell you you don't. But I felt it immediately. She shows you in the mirror how your shoulders, she's like, it's an immediate thing. It was. And I can't wait for my chiropractor to see it today. So Lisa wanted to see the drawing again. Waking up still, nothing makes sense. I gotcha. It wasn't pleasant. That's exactly how she said it, Isis. It's not going to be pleasant. And I was like, that means painful. She's like, yes, it does. But there you go, Lisa. But I mean to tell you, my neck, my muscles in my neck are rock hard all the time, like bodybuilder hard. And it feels so much better. Okay. We done? Got it? Got it. Okay. All right. Now I have to go muggle. No, now I have to go to, but here, one last card. Because that sounded very grim this morning, right? It sounded very grim. So I decided to pull another card, and this is the one I have. We are our own creators. Our choices are what guide our day and our life. So no matter what is going on around us, we can influence what happens here. This is where it's important. This and this, right? The home, the heart, the energy, all of these things are important. So it doesn't matter what's going on around us, because there's so much going on around us all the time, right? He's going to be 2 in a couple days. Unbelievable, right, Diana? Unbelievable. They grow so fast. So keep this in mind. No matter what's going on around you, no matter what you've been told, all that, it's what you create in your own life that makes it better. Absolutely. We are our own creators, our own manifestors. Keep that manifestation in mind as you go through your day. Be mindful of your words and create the very best day for you. Okay. So I'm going to go see what my chiropractor has to say, because that sounds fun. And and I will talk to you guys later. I hope you have a wonderful afternoon, and find light, find love, find joy, feel divine, because you are. And if Mr. Fry were here, he would say, may the light be with you always. And I will talk to you guys later. Have a wonderful day.